Hello.
Hi guys.
Okay. So what are we talking about today? This is my husband.
Sealy or Szilard.
And I'm Douglas.
Douglas is coming from the United States
Yeah.
and I come from Hungary and we live in Germany. And this is not really about us, but it's more about all the issues that could come up in a relationship like ours. Um, how old are you, honey?
I'm 30, getting ready to be 31.
Yeah. And I'm 55. I'm gonna be 56 soon. So there's a huge age difference between us, 25 years. And you guys can see also I'm white, he's black. A cultural difference because I come from Europe, he's coming from the United States. A language difference because my native language is Hungarian, his native language is English. And we live in a third country. And so I think all these circumstances could raise interesting questions, or it creates a good opportunity to discuss some issues that are important in any relationship, in any communities, but especially in the gay community. So
Yeah.
it's not about us, but it's about the issues that could, come up in our relationship, or the potential problems that could come up.
Yeah. I mean, we can, but also I, wanted to talk about the joys and the good sides as well, like
Yeah.
it's not all bad cuz we eventually we love lots of different things. We love nature, we love art, having conversations, um, creating, travel. And these are the things that kind of connected us.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, we have lots of good conversations, political, philosophical conversations,
Yeah.
and that's how we actually got to know each other. We met in New York, in Brooklyn. I was traveling at that time, and we just met, and it looked like it was a random date.
Mm.
But then we kept in touch after I came back to Germany, and we were writing a lot.
Yes,
And we just discovered that we have a lot in common in terms of philosophical, spiritual interests.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's how the relationship got deeper and deeper, and then it turned into a marriage after 2 years or 3 years. I'm not.
3 years.
3 years. Yeah.
It's my husband. Yes. And he has liberated me. I feel completely liberated to love and be loved by him. And not just by him, but by other people, because I feel like I had a lot of anxieties, I had a lot of wounds. And he just completely mended all of that, and he continues to do that. I mean, I do that, on my own. I'm been doing a lot of work and a lot of internal work, but that's what I feel.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think y- we can all mend ourselves. I mean, we can ask questions and we can have conversations, but I don't think that I can mend you or you can mend me, and I don't think you need
Yeah.
to be mended
Yeah.
either. It's just we all have personal issues and problems and questions, and that we need to, process and work through, and we can help each other to do that
Yeah.
by asking questions, offering different perspectives, or sharing some observations. But
Yeah.
basically, we all have to solve our own problems, or yeah, figure things out on our own, because I can't suggest something to you that, I mean, I cannot be sure that what I'm suggesting that it would actually work for you, because
Mm-hmm.
there are so many aspects um, of a decision, for example, that only you know what's best for you,
Yeah.
because yeah, my vision is limited.
And I will say through that, through the asking of questions and through the, I've been able to look deeply within myself and see a lot of my own needs that needed to be improved. Um, yeah.
And I am really grateful that I met you, because I wasn't sure that I would find somebody. I started to worry that I might just have to end up my life, you know, growing old alone,
Mm-hmm.
and living alone, because I had some relationships in the past, relatively long relationships, like 2 7-year long relationships. And then after that, I tried a couple of times with people, but it was difficult and it didn't work out. And I just started to feel, okay, that's it. I'm just gonna I'm just gonna die alone, or
Yeah.
grow old alone. And then all of a sudden, this relationship with Douglas worked out wonderfully, and I'm really grateful that that I have someone to share my life with, because I had good things in my life even while I was alone, but every time when I discovered something nice, I always felt like, okay, it would be so much nicer if I could share this with someone. Whenever I saw something nice in a museum or in a different city or whatever, I just felt like, okay, I would love to show this to someone else that I care about.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really happy and grateful for you, honey, that I can do that.
Thank you, love.
Um, yeah, and I do not find the age difference a problem, um, because I don't think that I'm smarter than Douglas is just because I'm older. Of course, I have certain experiences that he doesn't have, but so what? It doesn't mean that I don't have the same experiences as he has either. So we have
Right.
completely different experiences and different perspectives, and that's you know that has a lot to offer. It's not bad. Okay, someone could say that maybe I have different issues that I have to deal with in my life because of my age, because his big life questions like finding himself, finding a career, finding a lifestyle,
Mm.
that sort of thing, like finding out who he is.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, I'm not sure. I'm sorry. I'm talking about
Yeah. No.
your,
No. 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 You're
but
right.
I'm just presuming that these are the things that you are dealing with
Yeah.
in your age, and in my age, it's more about what am I gonna leave behind, what is my legacy, or okay, I've tried lots of different things, but what is the one thing that I can do really well, and so maybe I should stick with that and just make a commitment and say, okay, I could do so many things, but I don't have that much time, so I need to make a choice to do a certain things and then actually accomplish things in that area.
Yeah.
So I think these are more like my questions, or also like maybe I should pass on some of the experiences that I've gathered so far. Yeah, those things.
And you have. That's what I'm saying. I feel you through your questions and awareness, you have helped me to open up, you know, the doors to that, and yeah,
Okay. But your youth is also helping me to not not getting stuck
yeah,
in certain situations just because I think that that's the best way of doing something that might be not the truth. And your presence in my life and the fact that you do things differently, challenges me to rethink my routines and my, set of ideas or convictions. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I should do things differently. Maybe there's a better way. Maybe, so it also offers me a chance to evaluate certain things.
yeah.
We haven't said anything about what we do. I think that might be also interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you start, honey?
Okay, so I need to read the company policy because I don't know if I can tell the name of the company that I work for, but
Well, let's don't tell the name of the company,
I work in a lab. I work
Mhm.
in a science lab, and I never thought that I would work in a science lab ever, but it's a science lab, and yeah, that's one thing that I do. And then I also have worked in fashion for a long time, in retail, styling, editorial. So that whole like visual storytelling world, I've been a part of that. And then I pivoted into teaching, which gave me fulfillment from my own inner child. But I felt like there was a connection with my family because I come from like a long line of teachers and educators. So that's what I've been doing. Yeah.
and uh, and I've studied acting, theater, and film in Hungary. And in Hungary, I always worked as an actor. I did all different kinds of things: theater, TV, dubbing. Um, and then for some reason, I felt like Hungary was too small for me. I wanted to discover the world, learn other languages, and Hungary is a small country. It's a small nation. It's only 10 million people, or maybe 50 million people in the world. Yeah, and I just wanted to. Hungary was also like a socialist country. It belonged to the so-called Soviet bloc,
Mm.
and so I grew up with a set of rules and in a strange society, and I just felt like I need there's more out there and I would love to discover and know. So I left for the United States when I was about 30. just as old you are now.
Yeah.
And
When I left America to go to Germany.
yeah, and I left Hungary for the United States when I was 30. That's interesting. That's like a
Synonymous.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and it was really liberating experience, and also very educational, to learn other cultures, another language, a completely different way of life, completely different attitudes.
Mm-hmm.
It helped me a lot. Like we discussed this a few times before, that I think that every time when you change country and change language,
Mm-hmm.
you also change your identity a little bit, and it also helps you to work on your issues, because if you want to change, then sometimes you have to change your environment, because
Yes.
in your old environment everything is reminding you of the old ways, of your old ways, and it's more difficult to change. But if you change your environment,
Yeah.
then it is easier to get over certain things and start to form new habits. So for me it was really educational and transforming experience. And I also had a relationship with another American guy for 7 years. We also lived in Hungary for a few years. And then in 2012, I decided to leave for Germany. I didn't want to live in Hungary, partially for political reasons, but not just that. I also just wanted to explore another country, another language. My grandmother spoke German. I didn't learn German from her because at that time I was not interested in that. But the family of my grandmother came from Germany originally, but several hundreds of years ago. But they kept the language, and so she was fluent in German and in Hungarian, my grandmother. So I decided to explore Germany and come to Germany. I learned German, and I've been living in Berlin, Potsdam, in this area for like 14 years, and I'm still I'm still an artist, and I still do performing every now and then, but it was much more difficult here in Germany, especially because of the pandemic. I had some contracts as an acting teacher and as an actor, but I couldn't do any of that because of the pandemic, the COVID pandemic, COVID-19, and I had a part-time as a nurse, as an assistant nurse, and I thought, well, maybe it's time to actually get serious about it, and I started a nursing school, and now I'm an examined professional nurse.
But
And
you
I
feel. Yeah. No, go ahead. I don't want to cut you
yeah,
off.
but I still feel like I'm an artist at my heart, and but I also like working with people, talking with people, and it's also a fulfilling experience to help them as a nurse. And funnily, I find almost every day that a good conversation helps almost as much as the medication that I give them. And sometimes a good conversation is all they need, not actually the medication that I give them,
Yeah.
or they need the conversation more than the medication. And at some point, I realized that I want to study something, and I started studying psychology, and I'm about to finish my bachelor degree. I'm writing my bachelor thesis, and I want to continue in master. And I will, yeah, I would love to combine these two things, like being an artist and being a psychologist, and combining art and therapy, and yeah, and create something along those lines. And sometimes I would love to go back to performing and creating. I also did directing, film directing, theater directing. And I miss creative work, but I feel like I need to invest some time in my studies right now
Yeah.
to be able to work as a qualified psychologist,
Mm-hmm.
and then a little bit later I can go back to creating, and then to combine these two areas. Yeah.
And you're on your way. You're on your way.
Thank you.
And okay, so to piggyback off of that, first, just want to say congratulations, and I'm so inspired, so proud of all that you've done, and how you continue to start over and keep pushing forward. Um, it's inspiring
Thank
to
you.
me.
And I thank you for coming to Europe
Sorry.
and going into this adventure with me, and in a way sacrificing your existence in the United States, you know, taking the trouble of learning a different language.
It's a journey.
You know, it's a journey, but I know that at the beginning it could be hard at times to start in a new culture, learning a new language,
Mm-hmm.
feeling home. Yeah, so I congratulate you for that effort, that you were ready to make that effort,
Yeah.
and you were strong enough to try new things, and you know, taking risks.
Yeah. Ah, thank you.
I mean, that's you know, that's very important, and I need to acknowledge that, and especially because I think that every time when we learn something new, we need to come out of our comfort zone, and we need to face our fears, and also we need to take risks, and that can lead to growth and change, but we are so afraid of doing that, so afraid of taking risks, and abandoning a known path,
Mm-hmm.
even if it's not so good or not so happy, you know,
Mm-hmm.
but we still choose to keep riding the old path, even if it doesn't satisfy us or fulfill us or doesn't make us happy. And so that's why I think it's really important to acknowledge if you actually can take risks and have the courage to try something new, you know,
Yeah.
and you can overcome your fear.
Mm-hmm. For me, it's been a continuous battle. I will say, because um, I think that I have struggled with, like, my identity for a while. You know, who I want to be seen as. Do I want to be seen as this serious artist, and what does that entail, and what does that you know? And I think, coming from a very religious background, coming from a very educational background, coming from the Black experience of the American South, there's a lot of, like, you know, expectations for what success should be. And in American culture, there's a lot of expectations for what success means, and what that looks like, and what you can do. And So I think it's been very difficult for me to, I've gained some traction on TikTok. Um, but through, I would say, through the teachings of Zen, through the teachings of Buddhism, through Tao, lots of Eastern uh, philosophies, which is what this channel is kind of named after, the Garden of Tao. I've been able to really get back down to my own nature and just stop striving so much and just accept myself as nature, you know. And I feel completely free through that, through love, through being, through coming back to the present moment. Yeah. So I'm excited about this because I feel like there's always been something deep down inside of me that's wanted to, um, just get over my fear of being online. I've had lots of conversations with For the Love of Creatives podcast with Maddox and Daleks Texas, who's kind of been on my ass about that. It's been a journey, I would say, but I am extremely grateful for the maturity that has occurred, because I think I've had to pick apart this facade of like, oh, I'm a serious, fashion person, or I'm a serious artist, so I have to be, and serious artists and serious fashion people or whatever, they don't, they're not authentic, so, or they're not, these serious people. I don't know. They're not friendly. I don't know what was tucked up in my subconscious mind that I've had to kind of disintegrate it. you know. So, but I don't know. I'm excited about this, and I feel peace here in Germany. I would say I do agree with what you said about how coming to a new place can help you to really look at yourself and change yourself and your identity, because nothing is new, so you're kind of forced to. And I felt that with my job that I just started,
It's okay. They don't bite.
so.
They're just interested in you.
And I guess that's a message. That's a message. So I'm excited to explore these themes. This channel was something that I just kind of
Yeah, that's what happens when you shoot in nature,
Yeah.
But it's okay. It was just a bug.
Yeah.
Nothing. Just jumping around.
Yeah.
I come from a different family. My family was not religious at all. I mean, my grandmother, after the political change, in 1989 there was a big political change in Eastern Europe, and the former Soviet Union, collapsed, and all these other socialist countries around the Soviet Union the system collapsed, and there was, a big transition, political, economical, cultural, etc. And after this transition, my grandmother rediscovered her religion, which she had to kind of like, keep quiet during those socialist decades. But I grew up, in socialism, a completely atheist family. But I always had some interest in spirituality. But it relates more to consciousness
Yeah.
and how you can grow, how you can be more conscious of what your drives, your motives are, who you really are. Because a lot of times our behavior is being controlled by other people, but we don't even notice it.
Yeah.
People from our past, from our parents, from our friends, from our teachers, their values, their set of values, their social rules that we kind of embodied when we were children, and these still govern us unconsciously. And also, our friends at the present time can control us unconsciously. So being a little bit more clear about who is talking in my head.
Yeah.
Is it me, or is it someone else from my past or from my present? It's important to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just to sum it all up, and maybe it's time to say goodbye. We don't want a really, really long, boring session.
Yeah.
But basically, the idea is with this series of conversations that we want to raise some issues and questions that could or do come up in our relationship, that might be interesting for everyone, for other people in a gay relationship or a heterosexual relationship or an interracial relationship, or in a relationship with big age difference or cultural differences. And yeah, you're creating very, very interesting images
Sorry.
for our audience. It's okay. And
Something bit me. It's okay.
the other, to sum it up, first we just want to introduce ourselves, who we are, and then later on we will discuss, some of the issues. But I think we will keep this spontaneous conversation because
I don't want it to be too much about
we don't want to
issues.
be educational or political. We just wanna share our ideas.
Yeah.
And that's it. If it helps you guys, then it's fine.
Yeah.
If not, then you can click away. That's fine too. If you want, you can like us. If you want, you can hate us, but I hope you won't do that.
Yeah.
And you can also write some comments, like what are the topics that you would love to hear more about, and then we try to go back to those topics, and that's it.
And that's it, honey. That's it.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you next time.
See you next time. Lots of love and awareness and peace.